Uh, my name is Matthias, aka Matt. Um, you are here with us. This is Matt Talk Live. We're here at our studio, Four Corner Studios. Um, just basically, this is kind of where I come. I sit down. I have just a regular conversation uh, with some people about my views or just the way I see certain things in the world today. Um, but today I decided that I was going to bring in a special guest with me, and so I decided to bring in Rashonda Bibbs, and she's going to. I would like to hear certain things from her, coming from her point of view on this particular topic that it's just been burning at me, and it is woman, stay in your place. That's just something that I've been wanting. I don't know. So before we get into that, um, I would like to say, I am um, an executive producer, film producer, and I recently wrote and produced this particular film that is based on a true story. Um, it has been all in the news concerning this particular church. It's called the House of Prayer, where this pastor was um, abusing his own members. Um, and physically, sexually, verbally, so many different ways he was abusing his own members. I was a victim as well. I was born and raised in that environment. I was abused by this particular pastor as well, um, and and so I decided to produce this film um, so that people can they would be able to really get a good understanding of maybe even what some of the things that the news did not even show. And so, this is a full feature with real actors, and um, you'll learn a lot. You'll see a lot. You'll learn a lot, and I'm pretty sure this would definitely change your worldview. Um, and so, the title of this movie is Pulpit Gangster, and it's Pulpit Gangster, Gangster. You can find the movie trailer, the trailer of this movie on YouTube. Um, and also, it is currently available to watch on pay-per-view as well. Um, and if you click on the little drop-down arrow button in the description area, you'll see where it says movie can be watched on this link. And so you click on the link, and it'll direct you to the pay-per-view. Or you can just go directly to Matt House Productions, Matt House Productions with the S.com, and you'll be able to get to the pay-per-view movie as well from that site. So, without further ado, also you please do I would love for you to just like and subscribe, even share um, our channel, and you can even leave comments down below. If you have any questions or whatever that you may have for us, I'll try my very best to answer them. Or if you would like to be a guest, on Matt Talk Live, you can just hit me up, and I'll try and see if I can get you on to get your perspective. So, also, you can log on to our IG as well, and it's Matt matt.house67. That's matt.house67. And so we'll go from there, and would like to turn things over to Rashonda, and I would like to hear just a little bit about you.
My name is Rashonda Bibbs. I am from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I moved to Atlanta about 4 years ago. I have 3 kids, 22-year-old son, 15-year-old daughter, and an 11-year-old son. I currently work for a hospital, local hospital here, doing administrative. But yeah, I interested in chopping it up with Matt here. Should be fun.
Well, good. Well, good. Well, thank you so much. I'm
Thank you
just
for
going to
having me.
get right into it then.
Okay.
I would like to know, why does it seem to be so hard for women to stay in their place?
I think it's that delivery of that whole statement.
Yes.
Stay in your place. Like,
Yes.
what is the place that you're asking women to stay in?
Well, I mean, as a woman, you are a woman. You're not a man.
Okay.
And so, honestly, from what I've found and what I've seen, as a man, and I'll even go as far as saying, in particular, I have seen many black women say, I'm black, strong, and independent. I don't need a man, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's wrong. I feel like that's wrong. I feel like, them taking that type of stance
Yeah.
is the reason why many of them may be single. Many of them may not be able to find a man. Because, hey, I mean, you don't know how to stay in your place. And then when you're in a relationship, you want to be the man and the woman. So it's like he doesn't want to feel like he's in a relationship with another man. So sometimes, it's like you're trying to, lead this woman properly. And I'm not talking about, and again, I'm talking about a man, not a boy, but somebody who first, he knows that God is his head, Christ is his head,
Okay.
and then after Christ, then he's the head
Okay.
of his house. And so I would like to know from you, why does it seem to be so difficult for women today in this country to be submissive to a man, to a real man?
First of all, to your point of him knowing that, Christ is his head, I, I fail to understand how he even gets into a relationship with such a aggressive woman who won't, for lack of a better word, let him. Because I hear that thrown around. She won't let me be a man. I can't let you be what you were born to be. So it's like, how does a man, a real, God-fearing, God-led man, get himself into that position of this woman that won't stay in her place, as you say? Submission and being submissive is kind of almost a cuss word to some people because they don't understand what true submission is. And again, you say they got that, I'm independent, it comes from society pulling us into that place. It comes from absentee fathers. It comes from just people who don't want to, you got a lot of, like you said. And then what's so bad about being single?
I didn't say it was nothing bad.
You
about
said that's
being
why
single.
that's the thing. One of my sisters always says, well, that's why men always say that. Well, that's probably why you single. Who said I was upset about being single? Yes, I would love to have like she said, yes, I would love to have a partner. Yes, I would
But
love
who
to do
would
that.
want you? I mean, I'm just saying. But I mean, I hate. I hate to put it that way.
I get it.
But I mean, if a real man now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean to put it that way, but I have to. Who would want you?
There is some
If you sitting right
passive
there,
man.
I'm talking about. You see, that's what I'm saying. So you're talking about a passive man.
Yeah.
A real man is not gonna want you.
Well, he should.
Except you know how to be submissive.
Well, he can. That's why he moves on and he finds him that woman who knows what the true submission is, and he's not being a dictator. He understands, like I've said, a leader knows of delegation. He knows his strong points. He knows her strong points. He knows, you have some women out there who they're strong. They got a little spoiled, poutiness in them when they told no, but they will, hey, you said we can't do this right now. All right, I'm gonna go over here and wait till we can do it. You didn't say no. Yeah, I'm upset that I can't get it done right now, but I know that you make the best decisions for us. That's why you're the leader. They understand the power of having that man, that real man, be a leader and they trust. That's the word. They trust his leadership abilities. I don't know what we do about the women who, because first you have to figure out what's behind why they feel like they feel. Is it they just following society? Do they truly feel like they don't need a man?
Why you just won't stay in your place?
You ain't gonna get everybody to stay in their place. You can't get you can't make it's like a little bunch of children.
But you ain't the man. See, this is what I'm trying to do.
A lot of times when they've met these women, they've already been in positions of having to be in control.
Yeah.
So a lot of them, like me, I'm a single mother.
Okay.
I've been a single mother for almost half of my life. And I was married for a few years, and I'm back to being a single mother, divorced single mother again. A lot of people, when they look at me, they like, oh, you probably want to run things. No, I don't. I have to do all of these things myself. So when a man comes into my life, I'm gonna need for him to take over those big things and let me be, the woman, so you say, and sit over here, because I still kind of believe in gender roles a little bit too. I still believe in those a little bit. So. And I know probably women are probably, give me ice daggers right now because I still believe in gender roles. I still believe there is a so-called place, as you say. But
there's no as I say. There is a woman's place.
It's just the delivery of it. It sounds so harsh and hard because most of the time when people say
we don't
stay in
call
your
things like it is.
You're
we
right.
want to call it like it is.
Because people
so tell me then when you say when a person says stay in your place.
Because it's been so many negative things thrown
like
at
what?
that.
Like
women
what?
need to stay in their place barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. That type
Wait
of
a minute,
place.
wait a minute
That's
now.
the place that.
But wait a minute.
But then that same man who says that he's not doing his part as a man.
How would a real man now
say?
But listen. How would a real man, or why would a real man? How would he even be called a real man if he's saying you're gonna have to stay barefoot and pregnant? How is that even manning up?
Again.
If you keeping her barefoot and pregnant.
How is that real man getting himself into position with a woman who's not submitting to him?
Well, here's
and
the thing.
submitting to his leadership.
Because the man wants some pussy.
Well, that ain't a real man right there.
I'm telling you,
that's not a real man.
Listen, I'm saying the man at the end of the day, he said the pussy is good.
You just describing a general old man in general who has no substance.
I'm telling you what you asked the question. I'm putting it on the table. If that man wants some pussy.
So whose problem is that?
It's his problem.
Okay, so why are we telling all women across the board to stay in place because this man thinks with his little head and not his big head.
Because that's the thing. That's the problem. See, the problem is what he needs to do. No matter how good she is and what she do, okay, and no matter, you need to put your foot down as a man.
First of all, I think he needs to not even get himself in that position to know how good it is before he knows what kind of submission he's going, how she's going to interact with him as far as him being the leader. He don't need to even get himself in that position, because I'm going to tell you, people are not paying attention to the representative and the people that people set forth when they first start dating and all that stuff. They're not paying attention to that stuff. They are, yeah, she was pretty, she had a fat booty and all that stuff, and that's all he saw.
Right.
He might have wanted a relationship and everything, but he didn't prioritize that part.
Right.
He let his lust or whatever take over before now he's in this position. Now he in a position. She was crazy and trying to run things when he met her, but he hit it too quick, or whatever. He was still trying to hit it, and he found out it was good. So now every time she was like, "Babe, I want this," and he'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna get it for you."
Straight now.
Now he can't think straight. So now she like every time, "Babe, I want." Now he done married her. Now they in the house, and now she like, "Babe, we want to put this on the house," and he be like, "Well, baby, we need to do this," and now she, but you was doing it before. Every time I asked you for a bag, you did this and that. So he put himself in that position. So why?
I don't disagree with you on
Why?
that.
Okay, him being a man, being the leader, actually, he put her in that place.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
Gotcha. So now, here it is. You have a real man, somebody who really, a real man.
Okay.
He's handling his business. He's doing what he should be doing. He's manning up. He's a leader. You know, he leads by example.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He knows how to care for her.
Okay.
He's nurturing.
Okay.
He's a great provider and all of that. And she still won't shut her mouth.
Well, he put her in that position. He let her get into that position. See, in the delivery, is he telling her to shut her mouth and say, "Woman, you need to stay in your place and shut your mouth"?
But what I'm trying to say is,
he put her in that position. He put himself in that position to get all the back talk and the stuff like that. First of all, the delivery. A lot of it, you have to look at the delivery of it. There's so many women out there who are submissive, but again, the wording of it. First of all, they don't understand submission.
The wording of it.
It's the wording of it.
It's too
yeah, because I be
robust.
like I said, I be on social media and they be like, "Why y'all just won't be quiet? Like y'all just want somebody
shut your mouth.
Why?
Why is it so hard to say hush?
Why you don't want to talk to us?
No, it's like see now we getting in it now.
Why you don't want to talk to us?
I gotta take my glasses off.
Why
This is getting good. See when it comes down to a man, a real man, he is to lead his family, guide them properly. But when that man, he's been working all day, he's tired, you know what I'm saying, and might have had a bad day at work, or his boss is on his back all day long, that man do not want to go home and have to deal with this hellraiser.
How did he get himself in the position of being with
Because what? I just told you.
Whose fault is that? We can't keep coming back to
pussy, okay?
So whose fault is that?
The man, but what? Not just that, but at the same time, by nature, you know, I'm not saying. See, we're strong with this, with that, all of that, but we still need women.
Yes.
We still need a woman. You understand what I'm saying? But it's the type of woman that we need.
Yeah.
And y'all ain't giving it to us.
You gonna stop saying y'all.
Okay, I'm not talking about everybody, right? I can't say everybody, right?
Yeah.
But a large percentage of the ladies.
Do you think it's just a large percentage? Because I catch myself saying most women, but do you think it's most, or do you think it's just what they're putting out there?
I'll put it to you this way. In this country,
I think it's just.
I think it's most women in this country.
I think it's just what they're
I'm talking about
us.
this country. Why? Because women in this country have more privilege than the men.
Yeah.
You go through a divorce. Let me show you how unfair this system is. judges automatically assume that you as the mother, as the lady, is the better fit, that you should have custody of your children.
Okay.
He should have to pay you spousal support. He should have to pay you all of this child support, and in addition to that, they want to take everything else you have and give it to the woman. And I don't think that's fair.
That's only in they don't. That's only in a I guess if let me tell you, as somebody who has gone through a divorce, they don't do all of that unless y'all really. If you're having now, if it's contested, if y'all done both got lawyers and she done lawyered up and her lawyer come in there and say now, in a lot of this goes down too because men don't know their rights. And they don't, you see how you just said, women got, I know more single fathers. I know more men who have gotten custody of their children, who have, you know, that you wouldn't think. They got whole soul custody of their kids. From a divorce, from a baby mama breakup or whatever. They rare. Have their.
It's not that it doesn't happen, but it's rare.
And it might be rare, but it's because men don't. They don't think about men who can take care of their kids, who would take very much better care of their kids than the mother. They don't know their rights. They're sitting there being abused and manipulated and paying this child support and doing all that. Yeah, that's just the way it was set up from jump because who was this person who, you can't fault us for the way they made the laws. If by default, when back in the day, who stayed at home and kept the house and kept the kids and had, you know, did all that. So of course, when it splits up, where are you going to leave the kids? With the person who's been there with them and taking care of the house and cleaning the house. So in all that, in a I guess in a perfect world or whatever, the way that it was really set up, of course you're going to give. That's what she's accustomed to. She didn't have a job. She wasn't. So, but now you got these. She was working a 9 to 5. He was working a 9 to 5. They both was taking care of the kids, taking care of the house. But a lot of cases you got these men who want this woman to stay in their place. They're working the same 9 to 5. They're bringing in the same money. But you want her. Wait. I ain't done. You gotta let. See, you keep we're bringing in we're doing the same thing. But then when that woman gets home,
okay,
she got to go cook.
Okay.
Make sure the kids done did everything they gotta do.
Okay.
Get all the house straight. That man come home from his 9 to 5. He go get him a bill. Say, hey, the kid's still breathing, and go sit down in front of the TV. But then he want her to shut up. Like, cause he done had a hard. But ain't nobody talked about her hard day. You still want her to do the 9 to 5 stuff and be your partner, but then she come home and she gotta still be mama wife, and you just get to come home and be the man and sit down.
That's not true. As a man, it is so much more. See, I'm glad we're talking about
you
this.
say that.
So much
you
more
say that, but
like
you just said,
just working.
It's very,
and paying bills.
But it's very rare.
Let me show you. Let me show you the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Being a man means that not only do you work, do you provide for your family, but you're also a protector as well.
Okay.
Having this load placed on you as a protector, it causes you to have to worry about making sure that the enemies out there is not going to try and come and harm his family.
So does that cause them to
So he's a watchman too.
Does that give you right to not be present
No,
in your
that's
family,
not what I'm saying.
in your kids, and with your kids and with your wife, though?
No, what do you mean? I said a real man. I'm talking about a man who's a provider.
You say that, but how does
you
this?
saying not being
but
present
I'm trying
now.
to figure out how this. My whole thing is back it up.
I said a provider.
I get that. I get that.
This man is somebody who's there.
I get that, but how do you?
Because you're not a real man if you're not.
But
so
how do you
I'm talking about a real man.
How does a real man with real goals, real substance, real open communication, real platform, how he wants to roll. How does he get linked with, she might go to church, she might, see, equally yoked ain't always about both of us we both believe the same thing. It's not always about that. It's about, I protect and she supports me. I'm the head, she's the neck.
Okay.
When I go to her, she's that Proverbs 31 woman. She don't make me look stupid out here.
Yeah.
We ain't out in the streets, and I told her she can't have that bag and she going off on me at the store.
Yeah.
Or even, there's a thing.
Let me tell you, you saying this, but do you know how many times a man, he's tried to put his foot down.
He shouldn't even
and guess
have
what? She just rebel.
She was like that when he met her.
Kick against what he's saying. He's trying to give her proper guidance now.
She was like that.
Telling her the right thing. I can understand if he was giving her wrong advice, but he's giving her good advice.
And you can't.
He's telling her the right thing, but just because he's a man, she doesn't want to hear it.
People treat you the way that you've allowed them to. So you expect her. This is what you're telling me. You expect this good man. He was led by his small head. He got what he wanted, found out it was good, was not upset. He this good man. That's the problem too I have too. Okay. A lot of people always, well, I'm a good man. What makes you good? Good is subjective.
Okay.
You a good man. Okay. We'll put all that aside.
Tell me what's a good man.
Okay. Good is, again, good is subjective. For me, a good man is somebody who is all those things. A good provider, good protector. He's balanced. We'll say balanced. He knows how to do that. He ain't worried because, again, God is his leader. He knows that God has them. Yes, he knows he has to protect and make sure the enemy, but he's taking those measures. He prays for his family. He got a weapon if we need a physical weapon in the house. He makes sure he's mentally and physically fit so that if it comes down to a physical altercation with somebody coming in and trying to touch his family, he makes sure that his children and his wife are physically fit. He makes sure that he knows who he is and what he wants in his life, and he finds a woman who meshes with that.
Okay.
If God is guiding him, God is not gonna lead him to no woman who's just faking like she that. Cause you might say, God be giving you signs all the time, but you like, God, she got a fat ass though, God.
Right.
I like that though. You sure this ain't her?
Right.
He's sitting here telling you, no, this is not her.
Right.
You gonna go over here and get this lady. She got a medium-sized booty.
Right.
And she's just as pretty as this one.
Right.
and she can twerk too, but you ain't giving her a chance because her booty ain't as big as hers.
Right.
So if he's truly being led by God, first of all, he's not gonna get into that.
Okay.
Or the first sign of her not, he gonna get that together. He gonna gather that either by God or we're gonna have to let that go. But he's not gonna, a strong leader, assertive man is not going to be so disconnected from what's going on around him that he ends up with somebody who keep giving him the,
But what if he does is what I'm saying. What if he does? Him being, because
what you're saying to me then,
what I know.
What you're saying to me then, I don't see that. I can't.
You don't see it.
Look, I don't see a man who really is like all those things that you said, a real man. I don't see him getting connected with somebody like that. No, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see him getting.
You don't know how many times you've seen or heard of people. I even know myself.
Well,
I know about it because I've been there.
Then
there was some point where I know that I am a real man. Mm-hmm. I have taken care of my responsibility. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about I am a real protector.
They were not.
I am a provider. I've been that way for years.
Well, that woman who bucked against that.
Yeah.
You weren't really paying attention to her. But then again, like I said, maybe she had her representative out there for so long waiting on you.
But see, you got to understand, this system tell.
You are not going to tell
I'm trying
me.
to tell you, the system supports. They support ladies.
But how does that make this
telling
man?
a man where he can get off at.
And then,
they support it.
Well, how
they
is he,
push it.
How did he end up in a relationship with this woman who's telling him he can get where he can get off at?
A lot of times, the man would find her attractive.
Okay.
He
and
would
again,
find her beautiful.
Again, whose fault is that?
She might have a big ass,
okay.
like you said,
again,
or whatever, you know.
Whose fault is that?
I'm just saying. But
God didn't lead him to that.
I'm saying, at the end of the day, see, you're saying God didn't lead him to that,
He
right?
did, yeah.
Okay, but what if he did?
He didn't.
But what if he did?
He did not. You're not going to tell me that this man who is
But
led.
what if he did?
For what purpose?
Do you not know that God can lead you to somebody, right? And it could very well be for a lesson.
Well, let me tell you that
whether it be for her, for you, or for both of you.
Well, guess what? He gonna have to learn that lesson, just like.
Fine, he still can lead you to that person.
Well, he's gonna learn
and you
that
can
lesson.
you still can learn something from them.
Well, guess what? He gonna have to not complain about it and just say
okay, fine. But guess what? At the end of the day, does that mean that you allow her to dictate and tell you that she's your head? And so that when you tell her, give her proper guidance, she just do whatever she wants to do.
That's what you, if it's for a lesson, then that's what you're going to have to do. You don't put your foot down. And so what are you going to do? Y'all going to physically fight now? What you going to physically,
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that a man
I
should
don't
physically
understand like what the
attack or harm ladies, period. I think that's a coward. I never will support that.
Well, if it's a lesson she's supposed to be learning, he's done all he can do. He's put his foot down. He's given her proper guidance. He can't make her take that guidance. Right. First of all, you know, if like you say, if God led him to that man,
right.
if led him to that woman, and that's who he's supposed to be with, and he sees from day one she is aggressive. She is not a submissive. She is not going to submit to anything he says, but God is still telling him, and he praying, God, hey, God, you sure this the one? And he's like, yeah, that's who you're supposed to be with.
Yeah.
He absolutely, he gonna have to just keep doing what he doing. Stay led and guided by God, and wait until God shows her because if he's led by God, then she got to be at least going to church. Yes, at least going past the church or something. Sunday school, Bible study or something, or looking at it online or something. So if it's a lesson for them, and if it's a lesson for her, there's absolutely nothing he can do about that. But keep doing what God is telling him to do until this woman either learns her lesson or just leave him alone.
Well, I mean.
So, because see, what you're saying to me is you want this man to take on this woman who was aggressive, hard to deal with,
they don't show those signs initially. I'm going to tell you right now. A lot of times, ladies do not. They know. They're crafty. They're very skillful. They know how to hide themselves and just say, they're just as sweet as I'm talking about a butterfly.
It's little signs y'all just don't.
So sweet. Look, when hot and knowing good will the whole time.
Let me tell you, I had this friend, and he would come to me all the time, and he'd be like, you ain't got nobody. I said, don't you got a woman at home? He was like, but she crazy, and she be cussing me out and stuff. I said, she was doing that before when y'all got together, and you just overlooked it because you thought she was cute. He was like, yeah, she was cussing other folks out and stuff, but if she was cussing other folks out, she was going to cuss you out soon, because you would be the only person she was seeing. She would see it all the time. Y'all just overlook that stuff. People are who they are. Like I said.
But I don't think that's always the case. But I do believe that in many cases that, there were signs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But more times than not, people, you can tell when somebody's just giving you their representative. If you really paying attention to people's conversation. That's the thing. People are not. They're not paying attention. They're not communicating clearly. But if you're paying attention to people about their representative or whatever, you can tell when it's just that you reading this off a script. This ain't who you are, because you can't keep that up for so long.
Right.
You can only keep that stuff up for so long. And the main key is knowing who you are and what you want.
Right.
So when that is brought to you, and you know how to, you know, they being all sweet and stuff. Like, one question I used to hate was, so what is it that you're looking for? Don't ask me what I'm looking for. Let's just have conversations about, you know, what we do, our life, how we, you know, raise our kids. Because if I tell you what I'm looking for, you're either going to try to transform or conform yourself to be what I'm looking for, pretend like you're what I'm looking for to get what you want, or we're going to bump heads eventually because you know that you're not what I'm looking for.
Right.
I got this one guy I was like, I like assertive men. And he was like, well, I don't know about that. Means you're not assertive, sir. Let's just go on, not even talk no more. I don't know about that because I don't be knowing what women want. It ain't even about that. It's about observing her practices, listening to her. Like, I used to, like, my friends used to laugh at me because I was dating this much older guy. And we would go out and we would look at the menu. And he would like, what do you think you want? And I would tell him what I thought I wanted. And when the waitress came up, he would order my food. Most women would look at that and go, I'm grown, I can order my own food. I loved that. That made me feel like I felt good. I was like, he got me, baby, you know. Okay. But it's like that stuff, men, you know. Then you got men on the other end who go, ain't she grown? She can talk for herself, you know. So it's like a battle, right, on both ends, and you just have to figure out, like, who, and then this is just who this man was. He wasn't putting on a act for me. Right. He was just, but the thing about him is he wasn't ready to be, you know, in a serious relationship with just one. He was like happy just dating around, and we got to that in the beginning. Right. You got so many people who just out here, they just want adult, interaction. Adult, they don't care about, they don't know who they are, what they want, so they end up in these relationships. I read so many things, so many situations where you like, how did you even end up with this person? You didn't know they didn't want kids when y'all first, and y'all married, y'all have been married for 10 years, and you didn't know this man didn't want kids. He didn't say that in the beginning. Right. He didn't say that when y'all was boyfriend and girlfriend. What is, how now you mad? Right. Because he finna leave you because you pregnant. Right. What is wrong with y'all?
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm just saying, I don't disagree with that point, mm-hmm, about knowing certain signs or seeing certain signs. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about even if you don't see the signs, mm-hmm, right? Okay. Or even if you do see the signs, mm-hmm, period. Yeah. First of all, I'm challenging. I'm wondering, like, why are the signs even there? Mm-hmm. Like,
the signs are there to stop you from right there.
No, I'm talking about why are you acting that way? Period. Well, who taught you that? Who taught you don't need to shut your mouth? Who did?
Why you got to say it like that?
But I'm saying, who taught you this? That's bad advice.
So how you
see? Somebody said, you know what? This is good because somebody told you that you didn't have to be submissive. Mm-hmm. That's why when that man say, "Look, can you hush?" You can't hush. You can't do it because it's like me. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it.
It's all a communication thing.
Well, I'm just
and saying. Maybe he's the one, not physically, but maybe he's the one to show her that, okay, he's doing everything that he.
Y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all losing the men.
Look, I'm gonna tell you,
y'all
stop,
losing
y'all.
the men. I'm gonna tell you.
Look, let me tell you, quick, y'all.
Ladies are losing the men because nowadays, I'm telling you right
but
now.
But you say that
I'm telling you what the men are. We're going through. We're in a state of depression right now. We are. Men are in a state of depression. Look. You know why? Because they don't want to be in a relationship with another man. They don't. Not a real man. I said a real man. Because see now, you see how you said some of them do. See now you talking about something else.
But anyway,
because that's not a real man.
Okay, so but still.
So the men are being emasculated. They are.
Again,
and women are contributing.
So
to emasculating that man.
The only way that this woman
being deballed. He's losing his balls.
Well, if he just he can have them put back on. He get
No, it don't work like that.
you're at okay. So if there's something that's in this woman from when she was little,
Y'all been taught wrong is what I'm telling you.
y'all.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that word,
Ladies
y'all.
have been taught wrong.
Some ladies have been taught
I said
wrong.
in this country, I'm talking about in this country, the U.S., this country.
Okay.
Y'all been taught wrong.
Okay. So by who?
So
though?
y'all get offended when Fantasia, people like Fantasia come out and say, women need to be
Y'all
submissive.
don't get offended.
I ain't talking about everybody.
Let me tell you who's
But
saying.
I'm saying ladies that some of them get offended when Fantasia come out and say, y'all need to be submissive to your man. What? Submit? Who? I don't
you
know
know how
who.
you keep saying real man?
Yes.
This real man who's
Yes.
doing everything. A real woman
Yeah.
isn't offended by that.
Okay.
A real woman is submissive to her real man.
Then we are not
There's
have
no
issue.
yeah.
Just
yeah.
like the
so
man.
when that real man
Yep.
it has linked up by who God only knows
Yeah.
how he ended up with this unsubmissive woman.
No, she don't. Let me tell you something. She knows how to be submissive
And we understand
a
that.
lot of times. And
No,
when
she don't.
Yes, she does. Because when that cockroach run across the floor, I guarantee you, she
But again,
and
what
she
I said,
all over. I'm like, what's
again,
going on?
what was she
It's a
doing?
cockroach.
what was she doing with that
Why you-
cockroach before she
why
got
you
with that
li-
man? Though?
Oh, why you running to me now? You know what I'm saying?
What she was doing about
you
that
were just
cockroach
not
before she
telling
got-
me where I can get off at.
You're speaking of these women who are already in relationships or already married.
That's
to
what
these
I'm
men.
talking about. I'm
But-
saying, why are you coming to me now?
Well, how did he end
But
up?
you-
My whole thing is gonna be, and
But
I
you
can't.
bad.
How
See,
he
you
end up with this?
bad.
How he
You
end up
supposed
with
to be
this woman?
big and bad.
He was
Then
not a real
face that
man.
cockroach.
He wasn't a real man in the beginning.
Face that cockroach.
Let me tell you, for everything that you're saying,
I
he was
said
not a
face
real.
that-
He was. I got some spray, and I can spray stuff at his face. I can kill the cockroach in spite of myself.
Go on and deal with that cockroach.
Let me tell you something. He
'Cause
wasn't
you
a
know,
real man in
you
the
know what I'm saying?
beginning.
You independent. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like that word.
You need a man. So then you handle that.
She had to have been displaying those. She was displaying that before they got together.
I understand
He was
that.
not a real, and you're not gonna stand here. You cannot stand here and tell me that was a real assertive leader
Y'all can't
for
be
this
a
woman.
Man. Y'all cannot be a man.
I ain't trying to be a
And listen,
man.
let me
Who
tell you
trying to be a
something.
man?
Whoever is trying.
So if
The women that
if
are
she's
trying
been,
to be a man
if she's
cannot
been
be a
doing
man.
this, okay, so
And we can't be a woman. I ain't even trying to be a woman.
you got a
I
lot of
can't-
men who are trying
as
to be,
much
and
as
not
we
even
need
I ain't even talking about in the LGBT kind of way. I'm talking about men, these passive men who are like, well, I've been doing this for so long, I need women to come and court me, come and chase me, come and do. You got men who are saying that now. Come approach me. You know, come and ask me out and buy me flowers.
Well, that's what y'all. That's the way y'all have things set up.
That's
as
what
if y'all the head.
we have it set up like that.
Yes, that's the way
Who is
y'all.
we?
I mean, think about it.
What?
So look,
So-
why do you? And here's the thing. Why do you expect that man? You go out on a date.
Mm-hmm.
You expect him to pay you for your food,
Mm-hmm.
pay for your this, pay for your that. Why?
Cause that's just what I
Because y'all
like.
think y'all the head.
That's what I like.
So why should
Who is y'all?
Women.
Who is
Not
y'all?
all, not all. I
Who
ain't
is
talking
first?
about
I stop
all.
saying y'all.
But women, I'm
'Cause
talking
he gonna
about
pay for myself
that
'cause I'm
number,
submissive.
that large number of women.
What about that
who
large
expect
number
that
of passive men, though?
to take care of the bill? Hey, you got you know what I'm saying? We go out on a date. Oh, give him the tab. Wait a minute.
But you know what?
But you think you the head?
But who accepts that? If he didn't
Then
accept
he's-
it, if
then
he
he's
didn't
not
accept
a real
it,
man. And it's time for us,
Mm-hmm.
time for me, and whoever else, as a man, to man up,
Mm-hmm.
be that real leader, be that king that
Yep.
you are.
Yep.
Put your foot down and lay it down, hold it down. You got to, no matter what. No
if you're
matter what.
already in this situation, so now you're expecting somebody that you done let have their way
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
Now you're telling her, oh, no, you can't have your way no more because I'm the man, because I'm the king. Okay, now, that's a good way to go, but in most cases, that's probably going to end in a divorce, a physical altercation,
Yeah.
or something. But
But
then
then
you have, but then, like again, you do have some men who do need to say, hey, look, we done been doing this for this. Now, if he can communicate it effectively, you might be onto something. You can say, hey, look, we've been doing this for this many years. I am the man of this household. You gonna stop treating me like I'm one of these children
And stay in your place.
And we ain't finna say stay in your place.
Oh, that's we
not
and
finna
stay
say,
in your place.
It is not about staying in your place.
Yes, it
but
is.
if he say, now if he says I'm finna get in my place and I need you to get in your place.
That's what I'm saying.
And if
just
he
like
can
the
say,
man has a
now
place,
if he can just
you
stop
got a
saying
place
my
too.
place and say, hey, you're my partner in this or whatever. Not even partner, because somebody said something about partner being equal. You know, again, he's the leader. He the president. I want to be the vice president.
Okay.
He gonna come to me for, like you said, counsel.
But in the end, he needs her. She was made. When God made that man,
he needs her and she needs him as well.
He saw that it wasn't good for him to be alone.
Right.
I know I ain't smarter than God. Okay.
Right, exactly.
But they say trust me. We need the ladies.
But what do you do with those men
y'all
who have
got out of hand?
Like
I'm
you gonna stop saying y'all?
Yeah, ladies. When I say y'all, I'm talking about y'all as a collectively, as a whole.
Okay.
Y'all really have gotten out of hand.
So to your
and y'all
point,
losing now. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna wind up losing. More
your-
and more of y'all gonna wind
your
up
point.
losing these good men.
to your point of men, God made man first,
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Women and y'all,
And it's
you know,
slim too. It's slim to even find a good man now.
look, women have been dealing with all of that for so long. If you look at dynamics of a lot of relationships, women are not, before, they weren't just jumping up saying, hey, there was so much that crumbled back in the day.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all inside, it wasn't in-house stuff. There were so many forces outside of our relationships.
Well, you got so-called men on the down low.
You got that, but not even that.
No,
you got
I'm
the justice
talking about
system.
that. I'm talking about
There were
that.
so many things outside of our relationships that looked in and saw these two beings are very powerful together.
I know
We
what
have
you're
to do
saying.
things. If we pull this head out, this man out, then we go to this woman and tell her, you don't need him. He in jail. He out here doing this. He can't hold this job or whatever. You can do it by yourself. It wasn't just, we didn't just jump up and say, hey, we independent. There were so many outside forces. And then that mother raised her child, baby, I did it by myself. I raised you and your brothers by, and then you got this man sitting over here saying, my mama. But you're making it seem like it's.
So many women now with anxiety.
So,
and in particular, black women.
But men nowadays are making it seem like all of it is
I know, but I want you to
I don't want to hear it. But because men nowadays are making it seem like it's our fault, like we just came up with this in 2020.
That's
that
why
we
so many black women are struggling now with anxiety.
Okay. Why?
I promise you, it's because they're out of their place.
Because men fell out of their place.
Listen what I'm trying to tell you.
We can only be in our place when you're in your place.
But listen. When you keep saying, I'm strong, independent, I don't need a man, I can do this, that, and the other by myself.
So,
by my damn self.
Would you rather us sit over and cry and go, we need you, but you won't, he won't.
That's why, because you're not built. You only made for certain
You can't
things.
tell us what we built.
I'm saying that woman.
Physically, yes.
She's not. I just told you about the cockroach. She can't even deal with that.
Who is she? What woman can't deal with it?
Ladies can't even deal with that. They can't.
Do you know how many? Well, I ain't got no house full of that, but you know how many cockroaches and spiders I've had to kill on my own?
I'm just saying. Now, you mentioned something. You said something about the LGBT community. Now, what are your thoughts about that?
I don't know. I feel like they get, I don't know. It's a lot. I have a lot of thoughts about that. I got a lot of friends, not I ain't gonna say a lot of friends. I know a lot of people who, fall into those categories. I have no qualms, no nothing with them. I like people to be who they are, who they feel they are. I think where I kind of have a pushback is where you're forcing me to change my norms because you're not, like for instance, the thing that kind of like made me like just kind of roll my eyes really deeply was the whole tampon debate. You got these transgender, they're men now, but they were women, but they still have their cycles. So you want me to take the female symbol off the pad box now. You want me to just go and revamp. I can't call you a man. I got to call you a cis man. You know,
that makes no
because,
sense.
you know, so things like that bother me. Because I'm like, if this is who you are and what you want to be, and you're not hurting me, you're not hurting yourself, be you, honey, do you. But when you're doing something, and then I got to like, I used to have a problem with men who are always saying, I'm an alpha male. If that's who you are, you shouldn't have to tell nobody. If that's who you are, just go do it. Just be that. I should be able to say, oh, yeah, that's an alpha man right there. You shouldn't have to, every time I see you beating your chest, somebody, well, I'm an alpha man. Obviously, you're not. Who are you trying to convince, me or yourself? So with that, I'm like, who are you trying to convince this is who you are and this is what you are? If that's who you are, be you, live your best life in who you are.
I don't get the sense in it. I don't get the sense
In what?
in two men wanting to mate with each other.
They're not trying to mate with each other. They can't
two
be trying to
women
mate with each
trying
other.
to mate with each other. I don't get the sense in that. It's against nature
it-
to me. Nature itself.
You gonna have
Should
people.
tell-
You about to have a
tell
pitchforks.
you.
They about to get their torches and pitchforks
Let
after
me tell you
you.
something. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you. This is Matt talk. You understand?
Right.
I don't care about. I see a lot of these celebrities dancing around the subject.
Yeah.
I can't say. Let me tell you. I say what I want to say. If you don't like it, that's your business.
Right.
Man, let me tell you, I'm a grown ass man. Okay. And I say
And you're
what I want to
entitled
say.
to feel how you want to feel. And
Yeah,
that's,
so
that's
look, you don't have to agree with me. You can
Yes.
disagree with me, but I got the right to have my difference.
That's another place.
And so with your selfish, lying, coward behind, because you ain't nothing but a bully and a coward
Right.
and a liar, because you'll say, everybody have a right for that to
Right.
be different,
Yeah.
except except mine.
right.
I'm telling you, I don't support it, and I don't agree with
right.
it. Then why you coming
you
at
can
me?
be unsupportive of everything, but that people will come at you, like I said, with torches and pit. That's like, I have no problem, but the problem, I have no problem with what, like, them being what they, but the problem where I do get the problem is, you'll support that if this little boy wants to go out here and become a woman or wear a
Dwayne
dress
Wade.
or do, but
Dwayne Wade. Let
but
me ask
when
you
my
that.
son, who
What about Dwayne Wade, his son?
I feel like if that's what they were gonna do, they should have kept that private.
So keep it private.
Like, again, they should have kept it in their house. They shouldn't have put it out there for the public.
I think
For
it's
the
a
public.
shame, and I think that's extreme cruelty to a child.
It is.
You don't sit right there, Dwayne.
It is, because I have an 11-year-old son. I feel like there was a disconnect in the parenting of that whole thing.
Very much so. And it's like a publicity stunt.
Yeah, exactly. That was my
So
problem.
then
with
you're going to go around the world now trying to promote
Right.
this madness,
Right.
this stupidity,
Right.
this
When
ignorance, and
look.
trying to have it like this is normal for you to have this little boy because he's not a girl. And I would never address him as a girl.
Even that, I have a 15-year-old. They change their minds every other week.
I don't care if you change your mind or not. I'm talking about as your parent.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Why?
saying.
Listen,
They change their minds and stuff they like
I'm not
every other
going
week.
along with that shit.
So you like I was telling somebody, my son, when he was little, he used to run around the house acting like a cat. So what I was supposed to do, go buy cat food and
Exactly.
cat bowls and just,
Thank
you laugh at him and go, okay.
Yeah.
And you keep doing the things that,
Yeah.
to nurture him.
And they
who
have
he
the
is.
nerve to
Don't-
say they embrace it. We're no longer going to be addressing him as a boy.
I had this friend,
We're gonna
said,
address him as a girl.
yeah.
So now
That's what
we're
that's what I
changing
don't
our
get.
terminologies and our vocabulary
Yeah.
with him, and everything has to be.
I hung out with
Her.
boys most of my life. I was a tomboy. I ran track. I climbed trees. I played football. I did all that. never did my mama buy me boy clothes.
Yeah.
Never did she buy. I had He-Man. I had little cars, but I also had dolls.
Yeah.
And all that stuff too. So she didn't like. She just bought me whatever I thought I wanted.
Yeah.
But never did she say, oh, she gonna like girls when she grow up. She gonna change her name to this. She let me develop, and I don't know when, but I didn't like dresses. I ain't like none of that. But never did she say, oh, well, you don't, So with that whole thing, I think they know that that's a very powerful entity.
Yeah.
It's a whole publicity thing. You didn't look at
Dwayne.
You didn't look at the mental state of your 11-year-old son.
I think Dwayne and his wife need to be arrested. I really do.
I am.
Because that's child abuse. I think they need to be prosecuted. And the ones who are supporting them need to be prosecuted.
I feel like it's just as bad as those parents.
They are guilty by association. I'm telling you.
I feel like it's just as bad as those parents who get on TV and whoop their kids.
Yeah.
Or do a discipline of their kids.
Totally different. That's totally different.
I think it's the same.
No.
They did it online. They did it online.
No, that's totally different to me. Because if you're teaching them a lesson on how to conduct themselves, and you're saying, look, you've been acting out in class, I'm just saying, and then you say, well, since you want to be a class clown, let me put you on display so you can show people what you've been doing. It's just a way of correcting them. But for this, you're talking about all this mess.
Again, like I say,
that's confusing.
It's still publicity. It's still publicity.
But it's messing up.
Because
it's messing up these young people's minds.
But exactly, and because they're putting it's an agenda put out there for them. If this is who my child is, or what, if I'm supporting this, why do I have to come and tell you that's what I'm doing? Yeah. That's a couple of things that I'm not going to debate you about. How I raise my kids, my God, my beliefs.
Because Satan himself is using Dwayne and his wife.
So to
push this agenda,
you play basketball and your wife is an actress.
Just live however you want to live, and before long, they might as well go on and say you're gonna marry your mama, you're gonna get with your daddy.
See, that's all.
I'm just saying.
I'm not even that far in it. My whole thing is that if this is what you believe, if this is what you're gonna do, this is what you're supporting your child as. Why does it have to be for the world to know? Yeah. Why are you not doing this? Just if this is what you believe. Right. If you ain't hurting nobody, you're doing what you feel in your deep down heart and soul is right. Right. Then just do that. Why you got to get on TV and say we're support? Who cares? Right. That's my whole thing. Who cares? Right. If it doesn't touch my 3 babies and touch my folks that I touch, then why are you on my TV? Why are you on my internet telling me what you're doing with your kids? I don't call you. I don't call you and tell you how I'm disciplining my children. Well, I don't do that. So don't do that. You play basketball. Go. I'm gonna revert back to what they told LeBron. Go out there and dribble that basketball. That's what you do. Well, if you're an actor, go get behind a camera. Do that. I don't really care if you're not out here. And see, now you are. If you're not out here hurting children or hurting people, then I don't care what you do after you get off the court. I don't care what you do after they say cut on the set, at the movie theater. I don't care what you eat. I don't care what you do with your kids. I really don't care. But then when you start putting this whole agenda out for the camera, now it's a problem, because now my kids see that, and you're trying to make this the norm, and you're trying to take away what we've grown up as the norm. Just if we can't coexist, if you're trying to change everything, that's what it's a mental thing. It's a mental disorder. If you're trying to change everything instead of trying to just coexist, and you're trying to change my way of thinking but you want me to accept your way of thinking, but you won't accept my way of thinking. That's it. See, that goes to show you the hypocrisy. Right. You ain't really, you know what I mean? It's like you saying we all have, we're entitled,
And, you know, you could believe
Yeah.
what you want to believe.
Yeah, but you got to go along with
so
me
you're
on
lying.
this, right?
You're really just saying
Yeah.
you want me to say
Yeah.
what you want me
'Cause
to
if
say
you don't-
and
if
go
you're
along
not
with your
for it-
lifestyle,
exactly.
and I don't.
Right.
So, and I'm going to hold to that.
Right.
And I don't care what you think
And
about
they'll
it.
make protection for this, but you got a whole person over here. I'm black. I can't say, I can't pretend to be something else. I
Right.
can't keep my blackness in the closet.
Exactly.
I can't pretend to be,
Exactly.
you know, something else, and
Yeah.
then when I, you know, feel
'Cause if that's
I've
the
been
case,
black the whole time.
You might as well go ahead and say, I feel like I'm white. So, you know,
You'll
on
make
your
a whole-
application,
right.
put white.
I'm trans white.
Put
So
white
give me
on-
what
yeah,
give
so
me the
then
privileges
we ought
that
to
white people
accept you as a white person, right?
Right, exactly.
And see if they're going to hire
And,
you.
and not even that.
Think-
You just
think
need to
about it. See if they're gonna
accept me
hire
who I
you.
am.
Yeah, and
Accept
then
me
you
for
talk
who
about
I
I'm
am.
white. I'm
Yeah.
white. And they're going to look at your black behind
Right.
and say, look here.
Right, right. Like he's sitting
I
up
don't
there
care
saying,
what you think.
well, I feel like a girl. I feel like a Brazilian sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm Dominican.
Exactly.
So you gonna treat me like I'm Dominican.
Exactly.
I feel like an alien. You gonna
Exactly.
treat me like that. I shouldn't even adhere to these laws.
Exactly.
So but that's a big mess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, this was deep. This was deep. It went deep.
It went left. Though.
It went way deep.
I think
But
we
guess
we
what?
got out of the place.
No,
though.
we didn't.
You
No,
got
we
out of your
didn't.
place.
No, I didn't. No, we didn't. This is Matt talk. So this is me. This is me. This is coming from my perspective, my point of view. And
Like,
hey,
that's
at the
mine
end
too,
of the day, I support my views. I stand behind my views.
Okay.
You know. So if you have any questions about it, challenge me on it, question me about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think women are too beautiful for me to look at another man any kind of way, in any kind of way.
But she got to stay in her
Other
place,
than
though.
the way I look at a woman. You understand what I'm saying? It's just crazy to me. But anyway, so this was good. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Rashonda, you've been wonderful.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for just taking the time out of your day to share with me at our studio.
Okay.
And there will be more. There will be more. more. And again, please, like, subscribe, share. Stay tuned. Stay connected with us. And definitely get out and make sure, because of this coronavirus stuff going around and all of that, and you might just want a good movie to watch while you're at home. And I challenge you that, if you just watch that movie Pulpit Gangster, that can be found. You can go to YouTube, look it up, and there's a link in the description area where you can click on it, and it'll direct you to the pay-per-view where you can watch that movie based on the true story, and just give you something to do, and definitely it would change your worldview, considering all of this mess that's going on in the world today. So again, thank you, and until the next time.